I can't believe you forgot our dinner again, I said, trying to keep my voice light as I set my bag on the table. I'm sorry, sophomore work ran late, Ethan replied, flashing that effortless smile that used to make my heart flutter. I forced a laugh. Again? It's becoming a habit. He shrugged, leaning back in his chair. You know how it is. I'll make it up to you, promise. I nodded, pretending I believed him. I wanted to. I really did. But a small voice in my head whispered, something's off. Later, while scrolling through social media, I saw a picture tagged at a cafe downtown. Ethan and Olivia, smiling, laughing, close, too close. My stomach sank. No, it can't be, I whispered to myself, trembling. I called Marcus immediately. Marcus, look at this. He's with Olivia. I swear I saw it. Calm down, Soph, Marcus said, his tone cautious. Are you sure? Yes. Look at her hand on his shoulder. That's not friendship. My voice cracked. How could he do this to me? Take a breath. Maybe it's not what it looks like, he suggested, but I could hear the doubt in his voice. I didn't wait. I needed answers. I grabbed my coat and stormed toward his apartment. My heart raced. Anger and disbelief tangled together like fire in my chest. Ethan opened the door, smiling. Soph, you're early. Cut the act, Ethan, I snapped, stepping inside. What's going on with you and Olivia? What are you talking about? His smile faltered just for a second, but it was enough. I slammed my phone on the counter. Don't lie to me. I saw the picture, Ethan. The two of you. How could you betray me? He ran a hand through his hair, clearly caught off guard. Soph, it's not what you think. I mean, she's just a friend. A friend? My voice rose. Do friends touch each other like that? Do friends meet in secret? Rage boiled through me. I trusted you. You're overreacting, he said, but it lacked conviction. My chest tightened. Am I? I whispered, my voice trembling now. Or was I just blind? Blind to every little thing I didn't want to see. Just then, Vanessa appeared from the hallway. Ethan's sister, always sharp, always watching. Sophia, maybe you should calm down, she said, her tone sweet but laced with subtle mockery. Don't. Just don't. I hissed at her. You knew, didn't you? Vanessa smiled faintly. I'm just saying maybe he's confused. Or maybe you've been imagining things. I felt my knees weaken. Imagining things? After everything? But the truth glared at me in Ethan's guilty eyes. You're unbelievable, I said finally, my voice breaking. I gave you everything. And you... I stopped, swallowing hard. I thought you loved me. He didn't answer. His silence spoke louder than any excuse. I grabbed my bag. I can't do this, Ethan. I can't be with someone who lies, who betrays, who throws everything away. Marcus's words echoed in my mind. Soph, maybe it's time to see clearly. I walked out, the door slamming behind me, and felt the air hit me like a wave. Shock, heartbreak, rage, all mixed into a bitter taste I couldn't swallow. And in that moment, I knew something had changed. I wasn't the same naive girl anymore. The betrayal didn't just hurt, it ignited something. Something dangerous. Something I wouldn't ignore. Because I would make him pay. Hey, Soph. Heard about your little heartbreak. Olivia's voice cut through the cafe like a knife. She smirked, flipping her hair as if she hadn't just shattered my life. I froze, coffee trembling in my hand. What do you mean? I asked, forcing calm. Oh, don't play dumb. Everyone knows Ethan's moved on. You're a joke, she said, leaning closer. Poor Sophia, crying over a man who didn't deserve her. I wanted to scream, but my voice caught. How can she say this? How dare she? Marcus sat across from me, frowning. Ignore her, sophomore. She thrives on this. I can't, I whispered, my hands shaking. It's everywhere, Marcus. People are whispering, laughing. I feel exposed. You're stronger than you think, he said gently. You just need a plan. Take control. I wanted to believe him, but the betrayal burned too deep. I wandered home, dragging my feet. My apartment felt smaller, suffocating. I collapsed on the couch. Everything I loved, everything I trusted gone. The next day, I walked aimlessly through the park, my mind numb. That's when I saw her, Isabella Clarke, sitting alone with a book. Something about her presence, calm, confident, pulled me closer. "Excuse me," I said hesitantly. "Do you mind if I sit?" She looked up, her eyes sharp but kind. "Of course, dear. You look like someone carrying a storm." I laughed bitterly. "A storm? That's generous. More like a hurricane of betrayal." She nodded knowingly. "Ethan and Olivia?" My jaw dropped. "How do you?" "I know the signs," she said softly. "I've seen heartbreak like yours before. But let me tell you something. Storms can destroy, or they can strengthen. You choose which." I shook my head. I feel powerless. I trusted him. I trusted my friends. And now, everyone's laughing at me. "Power isn't given," Isabella said. "It's claimed. Patience, observation, and strategy, those are your weapons. Revenge is sweet, but wisdom is sweeter." Her words hit me harder than I expected. "So, I can come back stronger?" "Yes. But first, understand your pain. Let it fuel you, not consume you. You must see clearly." I nodded slowly. Her calmness contrasted with my chaos. For the first time in days, I felt a spark, not hope exactly, but direction. Meanwhile, I couldn't ignore Ethan and Olivia. They posted pictures everywhere, dinners, trips, parties. Smiling, laughing, together. Each image stabbed me, and I clenched my fists. They think I'm broken. They think I'm defeated. They're wrong. I confronted Marcus that night. "I can't let this go. I have to do something. I can't be the girl everyone laughs at." He leaned back, supportive yet cautious. "You need patience, sophomore. Observe, plan. Strike when it matters. Don't rush it." I paced my apartment, frustration mingling with determination. I can't just sit and watch. But he's right. I need to be smarter, stronger. They won't see me coming. The humiliation, the mockery, it all fueled a fire inside me. My heart ached, but it was no longer just sadness. It was resolve. That night, I stared at the ceiling, thinking of Isabella's words. "Storms can strengthen, weapons in patience and observation claim power." And for the first time since everything fell apart, I felt something solid beneath the chaos. Control. I wasn't helpless. Not anymore. I zipped my suitcase shut and stared at the empty apartment. "This is it," I whispered to myself. "A clean break. No more reminders." Marcus's voice came through the phone. "Are you sure about this, Soph?" "I have to be," I said, gripping the phone tightly. "I can't stay here, watching them parade their happiness. I need distance. Clarity." "Paris?" he asked, surprise evident. "Yes. I've always loved the idea of starting over. New city, new me." He sighed. "Be careful. Don't lose yourself chasing revenge." "I won't," I promised, though my heart pounded with uncertainty. Landing in Paris, the city felt foreign and yet liberating. I wandered the streets, letting the unfamiliar sights and sounds pull me forward. I am not the same Sophia who cried over Ethan. I am stronger now. Smarter. At a small cafe near the Seine, I struggled with my coffee and my thoughts. "Another espresso, please," I muttered, almost to myself. "First time in Paris?" a voice asked. I looked up to see a young man, warm smile, curious eyes. "Yes," I said, nervously tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. I needed a change." "I'm Liam," he said, extending his hand. "Mind if I sit?" Sure," I said, surprised at how easily I said it. "You look like someone carrying a lot," he said softly. "Mind talking about it?" I hesitated. Trust didn't come easily anymore. It's complicated. Betrayal, someone I loved deeply. His nod was understanding. "I get it. I've been through shadows too." Sometimes sharing lightens the weight. I'm not sure I can trust anyone right now, I admitted. Not after everything. Then start small, he suggested. I'm not here to fix you. Just to listen. I laughed bitterly. Listening seems simple. Yet it feels impossible these days. He smiled. Try me. I can handle impossible. Over the next few days, Liam became a quiet presence in my life. You're walking differently, he said one morning as we strolled along the river. I am, I admitted. Every step feels like reclaiming myself. Leaving London, leaving them, it's like shedding a skin I didn't want anymore. Good, he said simply. Rebirth suits you. I wanted to believe him, but fear lingered. I still think about Ethan. About Olivia. I can't let them see me like this weak. You don't need to show them anything, Liam said gently. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, unshakable. That's what will matter in the end. I nodded, letting the words sink in. Quiet, steady, unshakable. That's what I would be. Not a girl crying over betrayal, not a pawn in someone else's game. We sipped our coffees in silence. I allowed myself to breathe, to feel safe, if only briefly. Thank you, I murmured, for not judging. Judgment isn't my style, he said. But I will help you remember. Power begins within. Revenge doesn't come overnight. Patience, observation, growth, these are your weapons. I smiled faintly, feeling a spark I hadn't felt in months. Then I have work to do. Exactly, Liam said. But don't forget to live while you plan. Paris is full of lessons if you look closely. That night, I sat by my window, staring at the city lights. I am not broken, I whispered to myself. I am learning, growing, preparing. One day they'll see. One day, I'll be unstoppable. I closed my eyes, feeling something shift inside me. Fear, grief, and anger swirled, but so did determination. I am reborn in spirit. The body may be the same, but the soul is mine to command. And for the first time in months, I felt ready. The gala was dazzling, crystal chandeliers, murmurs of deals and laughter, champagne glasses clinking. I adjusted my gown and inhaled. Sophia Leclerc. Not the broken girl from London. Not the one Ethan thought he'd crushed. Marcus, are you sure he'll be here tonight? I whispered, scanning the crowd. He will, Marcus said, his tone steady. I've checked, and I've learned a few things you might like to know. I raised an eyebrow. Go on. Olivia's attending too. She's flaunting her engagement on social media. And Ethan, he's proud but careless. Slight arrogance in his body language. Vulnerable if you know where to strike. I smiled faintly. Good. I like a challenge. Marcus gave me a cautious look. Remember, patience. Observe. Don't reveal yourself too soon. I know, I murmured, adjusting my mask. Tonight, the game begins. Ethan appeared across the room, laughing with a group of colleagues. His charm had always been magnetic, but now, I saw the cracks. His movements were calculated, yet there was tension in his posture. I moved closer, careful, letting the room's shadows conceal me. Ethan Carter, I said softly, almost to myself. Look at you, proud, arrogant, blind to everything. A hand on my shoulder startled me. Excuse me, mademoiselle. You look familiar, a man said. I smiled politely. New in town, I replied. Then I saw him, Ethan. His eyes froze as they landed on me. His smile faltered, confusion flickering. Sophia, he asked, voice tight. Leclerc. Sophia Leclerc. I corrected, letting the name land like a weight between us. You look different, he said, scanning me like he could find a clue under my skin. I've changed, I said softly, letting the words sting. Time does that. He blinked, searching for something familiar. I don't understand. London. I interrupted, voice smooth, controlled. That was another life. A different me. I'm here now, enjoying Paris, business life. Surely you understand reinventing oneself. His lips twitched, struggling for a response. I didn't expect this. You. I tilted my head, smiling faintly. Didn't expect to see me again? Perhaps you shouldn't underestimate women who were once underestimated. Ethan swallowed, his arrogance shaken. I could see him calculating, trying to mask the stir of uncertainty I'd planted. Olivia seems comfortable in the crowd, I continued, casually glancing toward her. She caught my gaze, frowning, but clearly misjudged the situation. She underestimates me. Good. Ethan began, then hesitated. Marcus told me everything, I said, voice low, almost a whisper, though loud enough for him to hear. Little details you thought were hidden. Secrets.
Lies.
They're all transparent now. His eyes widened. What do you mean? I smiled, letting a faint chill trail through my words. Everything. Everything you thought I didn't notice. Everything you thought was safe. Ethan's jaw tightened.
He didn't speak.
I let the silence stretch, long enough for tension to coil between us. Careful, Ethan, I murmured, turning away slightly. Revenge doesn't need to scream to be effective. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that sting the most. I moved across the room with grace, every step deliberate, leaving him to stew in uncertainty. Olivia's gaze followed me, confused, anxious. Marcus caught my arm briefly. You've planted the seeds, he said quietly. I nodded, letting my eyes meet Ethan's one last time. Confusion, intrigue, and an unspoken fear flashed there.
Good.
Let them wonder. Let them unravel slowly. I walked into the crowd, composed, powerful. The game has begun, and I intend to win. Patiently, intelligently, irreversibly. I stepped into Ethan's office building with a calmness I didn't recognize. Sophia Leclerc, I whispered to myself, settling into the identity that had become a shield and a weapon. When the receptionist asked for my name, I smiled and said, I'm here for the investor briefing. The words tasted sharp, like the beginning of a quiet storm. Marcus had called me earlier that morning. He's been lying about the numbers again, he warned. If someone asks the right questions today, he'll stumble. I'll be that someone, I replied, my voice steady even though my heart raced. I had waited a long time for this moment, and now that it was here, I needed to play my role perfectly. Inside the conference room, Ethan stood at the front, pretending confidence. When he saw me, he blinked twice. Ms. Leclerc, he greeted, forcing a polite tone. I didn't expect you. I tilted my head. I like surprises, I said. Don't you? His jaw tightened, but he turned back to the screen. When he began presenting inflated projections, I raised my hand. Can you explain the missing quarter? I asked. Your report shows growth, but the actual contracts don't match. He stared at me. What contracts are you referring to? I leaned forward. The ones you said were finalized but never were. Murmurs spread around the room. Ethan cleared his throat. Those details are internal. So is the truth, I answered, keeping my expression unreadable. And yet it always comes out. After the meeting, he followed me into the hallway. Who are you really? He demanded. How do you know so much? I gave a small, amused laugh. A woman who pays attention. I stepped closer. You should try it sometime. It prevents embarrassing moments. You're trying to undermine me, he hissed. I don't need to try, I said. You're doing that on your own. His eyes flickered with panic, and I savored the moment. For years, I had drowned in doubt while he thrived in lies. Now the balance was shifting. Later that evening, Olivia cornered me at the gala reception. You're the new investor? She asked, eyes scanning me with thinly veiled irritation. That's what they call me, I said lightly.
She leaned in.
Ethan says you've been asking strange questions. I ask what others are afraid to, I replied. Does that bother you? Her smile wavered.
No.
But I don't like mysteries. That's unfortunate, I said. Your life is full of them. She stiffened. What is that supposed to mean? Nothing, I said, sipping my wine. But you seem tense. Is everything all right at home? Her eyes widened. I didn't wait for an answer. Marcus found me outside on the balcony. You hit him harder than I expected, he said. He's already calling people, trying to cover the gaps. He should have covered them years ago, I replied. This is only the beginning. Marcus lowered his voice. Are you sure you're ready for how messy this could get? I'm more than ready, I said. Pain taught me precision. He nodded slowly. Then what's next? The first strike was truth, I said. The next will be fear. As I walked back inside, Ethan watched me like he was seeing a ghost. In a way, he was. The woman he destroyed was gone. The woman standing before him was deliberate, controlled, and dangerous. He approached me cautiously. Tell me what you want. I smiled. You'll find out. I leaned in just enough for him to feel the threat beneath my words. Karma takes its time. I just help guide it. He swallowed hard. I don't know what you think you're doing. Then you're already losing, I whispered. His confidence cracked. Olivia argued with him quietly nearby, her voice sharp and frantic. I watched them struggle, my heartbeat steady, calm. For the first time, I felt powerful. And this was only the first strike. I walked into the boardroom, head high, heels clicking against the polished floor. The air shifted when Ethan and Olivia realized I was there. The smirk he used to have was gone, replaced by tension. Sophia, he began, voice strained. Leclerc, I corrected, smiling faintly. Sophia Leclerc. Remember? Ethan swallowed. We didn't expect. You never do, I said smoothly, letting my gaze sweep the room. Except tonight, I think you'll notice a few things. Olivia shifted nervously beside him. What are you doing here? She demanded. Observing, I replied. And sharing truth. Marcus leaned close, whispering. They're listening to every word. Good timing. I nodded. Thank you. That helps. Ethan's hands clenched into fists. Leclerc, this is professional. Don't bring personal issues into this. I call it professional honesty, I said, voice calm, controlled. You've been hiding, lying, manipulating for months. Contracts, meetings, deals, half of it is fabricated. What are you talking about? He snapped. You have no proof. I have witnesses, I interrupted. Emails, messages, testimonies. Everything you thought invisible is now very visible. Olivia gasped. This isn't true. You can't. Can't what? I asked. Expose the truth? Watch your arrogance crumble? The same arrogance that made you think I'd stay silent forever? He stepped closer, voice low but dangerous. You think this proves anything? I can fix it. We can fix it. You? Fix it. I laughed, quiet but sharp. You've had years to fix what you broke. Instead, you lied. You destroyed trust. You underestimated me. And now the tables are turned. Olivia's face paled as murmurs spread through the room. People whispered, glanced at her. Sophia, this is justice. I finished for her. Not cruelty, not vengeance. Justice. Ethan's eyes burned with frustration. You don't get it. I get it perfectly, I said. I get that your lies, your manipulations, your betrayals have consequences. And I've given you time.
Time to change.
But you didn't. So I'm showing the world who you really are. He opened his mouth again, but no words came. I could see the fear, the helplessness creeping in. The man who once controlled my life now had no control at all. From the corner, Liam appeared, giving me a small nod. Isabella stood silently, approving, her eyes proud. Marcus leaned near, whispering, It's done. They're undone. I turned my gaze to Olivia, whose composure was cracking. And you, I said softly. Arrogance has a way of collapsing. Enjoy the view. She stammered. I don't. Exactly, I interrupted. You don't. And that's why this is effective. No shouting, no violence. Just truth, patience, and observation. Ethan tried one last angle. Sophia, you were my mistake. We can. You were my lesson, I said firmly. And your lesson is complete. I've moved forward. You have only regret. I felt a thrill of calm power, not hatred. I didn't savor their pain, just the knowledge that integrity, patience, and intelligence had finally balanced the scales. Olivia slumped into her chair. Ethan stared at me, the tension in his posture screaming defeat. Around us, colleagues whispered, stared, and slowly turned away. I breathed in deeply, letting the moment sink in. This was more than revenge. This was my evolution. The broken girl from London was gone. The woman who stood here was deliberate, strategic, and unshakable. Marcus nudged me lightly. They'll recover eventually, he said softly. Maybe, I admitted, smiling faintly. But by then, I won't be looking back. Liam reached my side. You're remarkable, he said. You've claimed what was yours, without losing yourself. I've learned, I said, voice low, reflective. Power isn't in destruction. It's in patience, in strategy, in knowing your worth. I gave them chance after chance. They chose failure. I looked at Ethan and Olivia one last time. Goodbye, I whispered, stepping away. Not out of malice, but out of completion. The tables had turned, and this time I was the one in control. I sipped my coffee at the quiet cafe, letting the morning sun warm my face. Liam sat across from me, reading quietly. You're calm today, he observed. I am, I said, smiling. Calm, content, at peace, actually. Peace? He asked, raising an eyebrow. After everything? Yes, I replied softly. After the chaos, after the lies, after seeing them crumble. Peace doesn't come from hurting them. It comes from knowing I'm strong, from knowing I've risen above it all. Liam studied me. You've changed, Sophia. Completely. I have, I admitted. I'm no longer the girl who cried over betrayal. I'm a woman who understands patience, strategy, and self-worth. They taught me that. And now, I'm free. Marcus joined us shortly after, carrying a stack of reports. He handed me one. Ethan's struggling. Olivia, too. Their deals are falling apart. Socially, they're isolated. All quietly, without anyone noticing too much. Karma, quietly, efficiently. I nodded, scanning the pages. Perfect, I murmured. Silent justice has the sweetest taste. No yelling, no public spectacle, just truth and consequences. Liam chuckled. You've always had a mind for this. It's remarkable. I tilted my head. It's not brilliance. It's patience. Waiting, observing, letting them expose themselves while I focus on growth. Everything else is secondary. Do you miss revenge? Marcus asked. The thrill? I shook my head. Not anymore. The thrill is knowing I didn't stoop, that I reclaimed myself without losing my integrity. They're broken, yes, but that's not my work. That's their choices. Liam reached for my hand. And me. I smiled. You help me see life beyond revenge. Love, support, and trust. You remind me that I don't need to define myself by what others did to me. He squeezed my hand gently. Good. Because you're remarkable on your own. I leaned back, watching people walk past the cafe windows. My mind wandered briefly to Ethan and Olivia. I pictured them, tense and anxious, realizing too late that arrogance and betrayal always come with consequences. I didn't gloat. I just felt complete. I saw Olivia at the gala yesterday, Marcus said, breaking the silence. She tried to approach you. Frozen. Couldn't say a word. Ethan's been calling everyone, trying to fix his image. No luck. Good, I said simply. It's not my job to destroy them. Their choices did that for me. My job was survival, growth, and patience. Everything else is extra. Liam smiled. And you've done it beautifully. I laughed softly. I'm learning that the quiet victories matter more. Watching them unravel from a distance, knowing I'm standing tall, it's more satisfying than any confrontation could ever be. Marcus nodded. And now? Now we live, I said. We grow. We love. We don't chase vengeance. We embody strength. That's true power. Liam squeezed my hand again. And you've found that. I have, I whispered, closing my eyes for a moment. I've found myself. Confidence, independence, love, and patience. They all matter more than anger ever did. Karma works on its own timeline. I just needed to focus on mine. Marcus leaned back, smiling. You've become untouchable. In every sense. I opened my eyes, looking at the two men who had been my anchors, my friends. Untouchable doesn't mean cold or cruel. It means choosing what matters. I won't let anyone dictate my happiness or self-worth ever again. Not Ethan, not Olivia, not anyone. Liam nodded. Then the tables are turned.
Permanently.
I smiled. A genuine, soft smile. Yes, I said, voice calm. Permanently. And the best part? I didn't have to lift a hand. Silence was the sweetest revenge. Life itself was my victory. We sat in quiet camaraderie, watching the world move around us. And for the first time since Betrayal, I felt unshakable. Whole.
Free.
I sipped my morning coffee on the balcony, watching the city wake beneath the soft light. Liam joined me, carrying 2 croissants. Good morning, he said, placing one in front of me. Good morning, I replied, smiling. I never thought mornings could feel this peaceful. He sat beside me, brushing a strand of hair behind my ear. You've earned this peace, Sophia. You fought, you survived, and now you're thriving. I laughed softly. Thriving feels different when you've tasted betrayal. I used to measure life by what others did to me. Now, it's about what I choose for myself. And you've chosen well, Liam said, eyes warm. Your career, your confidence, even your laughter. I can see it radiating. I looked down at my hands, remembering the months of tears, strategy, and quiet planning. It wasn't easy. Every step was hard. But I learned patience, observation, and most importantly, self-respect. I'm no longer defined by anyone else's mistakes. You've become someone remarkable, he said softly. I see her every day. I smiled, heartful. And I see her too. The woman who once cried over lies is gone. Now, I get to enjoy life without fear, without revenge driving me. The satisfaction comes from being whole, not from seeing them fall. Liam took my hand gently. And you've found love again. Not because of anyone else's absence, but because of your strength. Yes, I said, squeezing his hand. Love that is kind, patient, supportive. Not manipulative or destructive. It's healing. Marcus called later, voice bright over the phone. Soph, you should see the board's reaction to your latest report. Everyone's impressed. They trust you completely. I laughed softly. I never imagined I'd be here, fully in control, respected and confident. London feels like a distant memory. Distance makes clarity, Marcus said. And you've earned it. You're unbroken. I hung up and turned to Liam. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, it led me here. To wisdom, to strength, to freedom. I couldn't have rushed it. I had to grow through it. He nodded. And now you can enjoy the fruits of that growth. I watched the sunlight glint off the balcony rail. A small necklace around my neck caught the light, a gift from Isabella, a symbol of patience, resilience, and new beginnings. I touched it gently. This little thing reminds me where I started and how far I've come, I whispered. Liam wrapped an arm around me. And now, the world is yours. I smiled, feeling warmth spread through me.
Yes.
The world is mine, and I'll live it fully, wisely, and kindly. Nothing else matters. We sat in silence for a moment, listening to the city's hum, feeling the steady rhythm of life and hope. The past existed, but it no longer held me captive. I was unbroken. I was whole. I was ready for everything life had to offer.